We've got sad news coming out of Hollywood and for the rest of the country, and for that matter, the world. Actress Kathleen O'Hara, known for her role in Home Alone, has passed away at the age of 71, according to TMZ. Hey, she was also in Beetlejuice. Yes, she was the mom in Beetlejuice. She says, if you don't let me gut this house, I will blah, 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 take you crazy with me. Remember that scene where he didn't want her to touch the the den, not the den, it's like what was it? In fact, the father on Beetlejuice, man, he was like, I think he was arrested for like some child cray, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But she had some really good scenes. Remember, she made that crazy artwork and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. O'Hara started her career in comedy as was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. The actress won an Emmy Award for her role in Schitt's Creek in 2020. You know, I started watching that, and then after a while, I kind of got tired of it. I don't know about you guys. I mean, yeah, it was kind of funny, but the son was gay, and it was like, what is happening? And I don't know. I think it just went in the wrong direction for me. When she was asked in 2024 by TMZ what role she wanted to be remembered for, and she said she wanted to be remembered as the mother to her children. And there she is. Wow, that's so sad. She was funny. I mean, she was a good actress. You got to admit, she was really good. Here's a pic of her in Beetlejuice. And I guess she was the voice of this girl. And there's the mom in Home Alone. And let me move this up. And then there she is. And I think that's in Schitt's Creek. That there. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I did think she was funny. And I am so sorry. Remember, she started singing Day-O. Yeah, I remember her mostly in that movie. Here's her in Home Alone, shouting, Kevin! It was awesome. I think this is a shot of her in Schitt's Creek. Now, I thought she was funny in that series, but like I said, I watched a couple of seasons. I don't know. They were like short clips, though. And it started to interest me, and they were going to run the hotel that they were at and stuff. And I don't know, guys. I just wasn't getting into it after a while. But I always liked her, by the way. Well, what we've all been waiting for. Federal agents arrested Don Lemon as he was supposed to be covering the Grammys in Los Angeles for his role in storming the Minnesota church. It couldn't have happened to a more of a deserving facts journalist. Fake! Who helped terrorize women and children. Time to prosecute. Let's see. Former cable news anchor Don Lemon was arrested last night. Multiple sources with direct knowledge tell CBS Action News. A source familiar says a grand jury was impaneled on this yesterday. FBI and HSI were involved in the arrest, sources say. It was not immediately clear what charges he would be facing. Abe Lauer, Lemon's lawyer, confirmed he was taken into custody by federal agents Thursday night in Los Angeles, where he was covering this weekend's Grammy.
Into Minneapolis a little bit ago, and did some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we were like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on.
Wow.
I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up, and it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account. And so that's what we're doing here. And then we're after that.
So we're going to surprise the church, and we're going to catch them off guard. We're going to show them. We're going to show those churchgoers and those children and the elderly, the grandmas and grandpas, the old aunts and uncles that are in that church. Yeah, we're going to show them.
After we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going.
Surprise, right? Surprise. I mean, guys, I think in the video, and I covered it, I did a couple of videos the week it happened, and it appears that, yeah, it's like the pastor told it, I need y'all to leave. I want y'all, he doesn't leave. He knew exactly what they were going to do, and he had to have known what kind of damage this was going to cause. It seems like he would have had to. Now, guys, it's Friday. So what did Rush Limbaugh used to do? It's Open Line Friday, man. Guys, we're pushing 500. I mean, I'm hoping the more subscribers we get, I'm kind of excited for the future is doing some live shows and you guys asking me questions and we can interact on articles and things like that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing that in the future. But patience is a virtue, ladies and gentlemen. Patience is a virtue. We got to get there. We'll slowly creep up and get more subscribers. Yes, and it'll be one big happy family and we're going to have a good time. So, but even though it's Friday, I'm going through stuff. I got massive stuff and I didn't really take time to set like yesterday, like I had a certain set of a topic. Today we're just gonna be hitting some stuff and just take it from there, just like if you're listening to the radio. How about that? We're gonna figure it out as we go. Some of it is order. And again, I feel really bad that Kathleen O'Hara has passed away. I mean, she was one of those special actresses, that you really connect with. Like some actors and actresses you can connect with and you never forget them of their performances and stuff. Some actors, I know, as soon as they open their mouth, I don't know nothing about her political stuff. And I guess right at this point, I don't want to know because I don't want to be disappointed that she's a left-wing libtard or was. So I don't know what her political affiliation was, and I'm kind of glad I don't. Because a lot of these actors, I find out who they are, and it's like, dad blame. And I think I do have some stuff in here where a whole bunch of actors came out the last couple of days wanting people to not support ICE and to support the rioters and protect the illegals. It's just been insane. These people just need to shut up and entertain us is what they need to do. Seriously. Chuck U. Schumer on Don Lemon's arrest. The arrest is a dark message to journalists everywhere. Bum. If you dare criticize this administration, watch your back. Don Lemon should be released at once. And the felonious charges against him dropped immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, the hypocrisy knows no bounds.
On another issue, last night, federal agents arrested journalist Don Lemon in Los Angeles after he recently covered protest activities in Minnesota. Once again, the administration is behaving no differently from police states and authoritarian regimes across history.
I don't think any president in history had their home raided with armed police, pick locks. Mar-a-Lago stormed his residence and searched his home and found nothing. And this is why the hypocrisy knows no bounds. We have on footage Don Lemon himself and his team filming him, knowing what they're going to do, where they're going to go, and they go inside a church and disrupt the church and scare these people. Don Lemon himself, right before he went into the church, saw a little girl clenching to her parent. I think it was a woman. And scared, and Don goes, look, yeah, she seems terrified, but that's what protesters all about. Yeah, terrorizing children. He says this before he goes into the building. Yeah, I'm glad he got arrested.
They've arrested a journalist for the crime of doing his job. And let's be very clear. This arrest is not just about one journalist in one incident. The arrest is a dark message to journalists everywhere. If you dare criticize this administration, watch your back.
That's not true. They slander him like no other president in history. They throw him under the bus, back up, and do it all over again. Trump has been demonized, called Hitler, called Nazi, fascist. Do you see these people? Do you see these? Good Lord, he hasn't even arrested Tampon Tim and Mayor Fry for sedition, for being Benedict Arnold's, blatantly saying he's fascist, and they're not going to help them. I mean, if they spin and twist everything. So y'all, I would assume America is not buying this BS anymore. How they spin the lies right in front of our face. Talk about gaslighting. He is the master.
That's not a democracy. That's a police state. And that is pure authoritarian bile.
So Biden's administration pressuring Zuckerberg, pressuring YouTube, pressuring Twitter to censor speech and to cancel people's pages, YouTube channels, all because they couldn't talk about the regime. I'm not going to let anybody forget it. I'm going to keep bringing it up every time the moment is right. And right now, the moment is right. The hypocrisy knows no bounds here, where they were literally shutting down speech, censoring your speech, that you could not talk about getting the shot. You couldn't talk about the incompetency of the Biden administration dealing with COVID. You got shut down on all of these platforms. Now, that's fascism. That's Nazism. That's control. That's dictatorism. I said dictatorism.
Democracy will suffer if the government chokes our civil liberties. Under this administration, the Department of Justice has all too often become the Department of Vengeance. Don Lemon should be released at once.
How is this vengeance? This has nothing to do with Trump. This has the people that were in that church, the people of America screaming they want justice because we all saw it. Trump can't do anything. Trump could probably suggest them like, hey, I think you need to look into that. And the DOJ and the DOJ went after them for the FACE Act and for KKK Act. And boy, for Don Lemon, a black person to be charged with that is just going to be hysterical. But it's not hysterical what he did. They terrorized those people. And then the way he acted talking to the preacher, like he's leaning all into the preacher's space. And the guy put his hand up like that. And what did Don Lemon say? Don't push me. Don Lemon was condescending to the pastor. And then the pastor's like, I need y'all to leave. And then he just kept talking to him like, well, we have a constitutional right to be here. That has nothing to do with Trump. This has to do everything with justice.
Once, and the frivolous charges against him dropped. Now on the Fed.
Wow. Can you believe it? I don't know who this is, but apparently it's Olympic runner Shai Curry Richardson, arrested for driving over 100 miles an hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone. Boyfriend arrested for drug paraphernalia. Uh-oh. Florida deputies stopped Richardson driving an Austin Martin at 104 miles an hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone, flashing lights and making unsafe lane changes. Now, there's a video here where let's see.
driving at 100. Hold on. You're
No, wait. Listen to what she says.
driving at 104 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone with subpar equipment, flashing people to get out of your lights, out of your lane, following too close, using every lane to pass everybody, cutting me off, passing a car on the inside shoulder with their hazard lights on. You're going to jail for dangerous excessive speeding.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My phone, I didn't even know my car was speeding.
That's why they give you a speedometer.
I totally understand. I communicate with you, sir. I really do not want to go to jail. I will be totally.
She said, I was on my phone. Oh, you had your phone? You're doing 100 and some miles an hour. She's flashing lights to get people to move out of her way. Y'all know people do that to you when you're on the freeway. Like there's a main road here where I'm at, right? The speed limit's 55, right? But I go 60, right? I tell you what, people get up behind me, man, ride my butt. Either once in a while you'll get some asshole beeping your horn. You're like, my God. So eventually you get over, and they're doing 70, 80 miles an hour in a 55. It is annoying. I mean, I'm going 60. I mean, come on. But she's doing that. She's flashing your light. She wants to get over. But what I thought was funny was so I didn't even know my car was going that fast. He goes, that's why you have a speedometer. Wow. So apparently she is she's an Olympic runner. Okay, well, she can't run from the law now, can she? I got a clip from Fox News about Catherine O'Hara.
And a Fox News alert with some sad news to report to you this Friday afternoon. Legendary comedic actress Catherine O'Hara has died. She was known for her iconic roles from Kevin's mom in the Home Alone series to Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek.
Moira.
The Canadian-born O'Hara died at her home in Los Angeles after what her agency says was a brief illness. She's been in the comedic business for a long time. She was an alum of the Second City Theatre Company in Toronto, Canada, where I first had the pleasure of meeting her in the late 1970s.
Wow,
she was also one of the creators of the sketch show SCTV. Catherine was just 71 years old.
Yeah, I think there must have been an illness. I mean, that's kind of young to die. I don't know what the age expectancy now is. I didn't go Google it. I was thinking it was like 75. Maybe it's between 70 and 75. But wow, look at her hair, guys. She looks really rough. Maybe she went vegan. Does anybody know? Anybody can tell me? Was she doing something goofy like that? I don't know, but I'm so sad. I liked her. I did. And I thought this guy, let's see, get a shot of him. Him right here, he was funny. He was on SCTV as well, and he had been in a numerous amount of movies throughout the years. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Well, we got CNN just having a total meltdown over Don Lemon's arrest. Panelist blames Trump. This is his revenge and retribution. This is going to be the talking point. Y'all are going to keep hearing this. Oh, wow. Wow. It says, yes, it's called justice. Lemon stormed a church, terrorized worshipers, and he's in cuffs. And this guy says, cry harder, fake news. Yeah, so they're all like, boo-hoo-hoo. Just like what we just heard Chuck U. Schumer saying, you know, this is just revenge. Just watch your back if you go against Trump. It's ridiculous. The news is kind of all over the place today. I really don't have enough to just harp on one thing, and I really don't want to. It's Friday, right? And I couldn't find any funny stuff. There hasn't been nothing funny. What is going on? What is happening? We need funny stuff. President Trump signs executive order declaring a national emergency over Cuba. Ooh, we kind of knew that was happening, right? And preparing tariffs on any country supplying oil to Cuba. Ooh. Secretary Marco Rubio, no doubt, has a hand in this. Cuba is about to get utterly choked off. Trump and Marco are coming, Cuba. They are coming for you. That is crazy. Wow. I tell you what, I got a crazy story for you right here. A Florida couple has filed a lawsuit against their fertility clinic after a DNA test revealed the baby girl they welcomed in December isn't theirs. But I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to let you see this for yourself and know why are you covering this, Rochelle, because I was like, what is happening? Here we go.
Well, we spoke to the attorney, and she tells us that this couple, they are absolutely blessed to have this young daughter. But
oh, my God. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I know I shouldn't laugh, but I thought this was a joke. I was like, when I first saw this, I'm like, this is a joke. This has got to be a joke. But it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
But shocked while navigating this wild situation. So Stephen Mills and Tiffany Score are suing Fertility Center of Orlando after their baby born on December 11th didn't resemble either parent. Genetic testing confirmed the shocking truth.
You had to do genetic testing to see? We can't see this? Okay, are y'all thinking what I'm thinking? Are you? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Is this a Somalian baby? Have they infiltrated the fertility clinics with their seed? Oh my God. Well, this is in Florida, so is it I mean, I think it looks more either African American or from India or from one of those than from Cuba. Am I missing something? Or it could be. It could be, but come on. Were y'all thinking it? Somalian? No? Maybe?
Couple's attorneys say they love this baby girl. They want to raise this child, but are living in constant fear that another family could step forward at any moment and claim the baby.
This is
the
just
interesting
crazy.
question becomes, what are the rights that they, as the biologically nurturing now 10-month parents have, versus the rights of the genetic parents that they hope to identify? And that is very much a developing question that the law is trying to answer, because unfortunately these mistakes very, very rarely happen, but they do happen.
Now, the couple says they're desperate for answers. Who are the biological parents of their daughter? And was their own embryo implanted in another unsuspecting couple?
Lord.
Now, those answers are being played out in the courtroom. Right now, the couple are asking an Orange County judge to order the clinic to share what happened with other patients and require the clinic to pay for genetic testing of any child born within the past 5 years.
Good Lord.
Now, a statement from the fertility clinic says they are cooperating and has recognized the mistake, saying in part all parties are working diligently to help identify when and where the error may have occurred.
We what they say? We recognize the mistake. But we still better do a DNA test. It was proven it wasn't that's not their child. Good Lord, y'all. I just thought this was crazy. Wasn't that this is just insane. Whatever your thoughts on these fertility clinics, I can't even talk today. I don't know. Some people think there's ethical problems with it. Obviously, there's some ethical business going on right here. Like, wow. Do they got some DEI? Yeah, I said it. They got some DEI hires in there handling the embryos and labeling stuff and where it's supposed to go, so you know that this family's their stuff is over here and these people their stuff. I said stuff is over there. I mean, God, good Lord, where does this end and begin? We got Lindsey Graham, like he's a real fighter, isn't he? Is holding firm, refusing to lift his block on the Dem compromise funding bill until it gets a guaranteed vote to criminalize sanctuary cities. I don't even know why we're having to vote on something like this. I mean, you would think this is just common sense. He wants a clear commitment. Senate will vote to let feds arrest mayors and governors who shield illegals. I am all for that. Yes. He wants a clear commitment. The Senate will vote. Now, I want to see what those votes are going to be. Like, who's going to be in favor of that? This bill was crafted with the White House. No more games is what they saying. No more playing games. Like no more sanctuary cities. We need signs. No more sanctuary cities.
Afternoon to you. It's Republican Senator Lindsey Graham who isn't thrilled about the way these negotiations have been going. He is the holdout on this deal, and he just spoke on the Senate floor a short time ago where he demanded a vote on sanctuary cities in order to lift his hold. Take a listen.
I will not lift my hold on this bill until I get guaranteed a vote on my legislation that would criminalize the conduct going forward.
And the clock is ticking. At midnight tonight, 78% of the federal government is going to run out of funding. Now, the deal between the White House and the Senate would split off a DHS funding bill from a package of 5 other funding bills. Afternoon to you. It's Republican Senator
Lindsey Graham is going to steadfast. I mean, don't you think this is a common sense bill? No sanctuary cities? Because the Democrats want them there. They want them there for votes. They want them there so they could have more House seats. That's what they want them there for. This is completely political and for power. And what do you think? I mean, God, seriously.
Why is my house on TV?
I had to turn the music off. Oh, man. All right, that one was funny. Always pay attention to what questions these people are getting asked and how they're responding. And what are the questions? What's the topic of the questions? How does it impact the country? How does it impact everyday citizens? Representative Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat, New York. There was a video of him yesterday. Did I even show it in my video yesterday in my show? Where he's asked about, maybe I have it in my stack of stuff. He's asked about some arrests that were made by the New York police of protesters in New York. And he represents one of the districts. He's in the House. And he's like, no, I haven't heard about that. And the reporter at the end is like, yeah, I mean, like, he's in the District 9 or whatever district he's in. But it was hilarious. He's like, no, I'm in Washington. I'm trying to blah, blah. Yeah, what he's trying to do is make it to where they don't want to pass the bill to make it illegal for people to vote. Where they had to go back and redo the bill, y'all, because apparently just having an ID is not enough. You need to be an American citizen, because anybody could go get an ID. Or a driver's license, for that matter. They had to revise it somehow. Maybe I have it in my stack of stuff today, but I was like, what? They had to go back, and they renamed it. So it was the SAVE Act. So now it's called Save America. The Save America Act, under President Donald Trump's request, is to change it because it is to save America. It's to make voting legal for American citizens. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Y'all know in Minnesota, you could take, represent 5 people that don't have ID or nothing. And you say, yeah, I can vouch for them. It's insane. It's insane. Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat, New York, is confronted about Save the Act. Like I told you, they changed it to the Save American Act, and refuses to address it. Instead, he spouts lies about ICE. What are they good at? They're good at changing the subject. Let's say, well, he doesn't want to comment on that because he's going to get reamed by his his constituents or the people who back him, if he dares goes that he's going to want this, because this is what's good for America, right? Why not have ID for everybody? It's ridiculous. He's then asked about the FBI raid in Georgia and lies about Joe Biden having won fairly in 2020. Jeffries is pathological, I guess. No, I think they just stick to their guns is what they do.
Leader Jeffries, what do you make of Anna Paulina Luna talking about attaching the SAVE Act to the DHS funding bill when it comes back to the House with the amendments made for DHS?
That's not happening. The reality is, what's in front of us right now is that ICE needs to be dramatically and totally reformed. Big changes are needed that are bold and transformative, period, full stop.
Do you support the SAVE Act, SAVE Act voter ID for elections? Do you support that?
We support dramatic changes to the manner in which DHS has been conducting itself. Taxpayer dollars should not be used to kill and brutalize American people and to violently target law-abiding immigrants. It's not a controversial position. It's the position that the overwhelming majority of the American people hold, including apparently now the NRA.
What about the FBI raid in Fulton County? Are you concerned any fraud's going to be uncovered there?
Donald Trump continues to want to litigate the fact that he lost the 2020 election. I don't understand how he thinks this is going to help his position, which is failing before the American people.
Leader Jeffries.
I don't think so, because it's looking like there was some serious cheating going on. There's some serious cheating going on all over the country, with votes being flipped in a matter of seconds, where Trump would lose half of his votes and then Biden would gain them. Yeah, I was watching something earlier. I think I have it in my stack of stuff. But how would the ICE need to be reformed, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so he's saying ICE desperately needs to be reformed. Well, how should it be reformed? I mean, what is their purpose? They're set out to go collect illegals. That's what they're supposed to do. Now, it works out wonderful if the local police, the local PD has already collected them, put them in jail, and then they notify ICE, and then ICE could just come and get them. Easy peasy. One guy. You could take one guy. Instead of taking, now what, they have to have like 15 guys. Because now you have to have, 4 or 5 guys to go to the house or wherever the perk is. Then you got to have another 6, 7 guys to protect them from the mob. It's ridiculous. I don't even understand this. And why does he want to get rid of DHS? The Department of Homeland Security. Now, yeah, it was created after 9/11. But that's their job, to get rid of terrorists. And it looks like we got a lot of homegrown terrorists, right? These mobs of these peaceful protesters that we've been seeing on the streets. Yeah, I think they're the terrorists, and we need to take care of them. Well, we are having some arrests being made outside of the Minneapolis Federal Building as rioters spark clashes with sheriff's deputies. And this is from Nick. He says, thank you to Hapin County Sheriff for stepping in, even though Tim Waltz refuses to do so. So we have been seeing some helping hand with the locals there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, to help these ICE agents and border agents apprehend these people. And they're getting rid of these rioters. They have got to pass the Save America Act. I like that name better than just the Save Act. Save America Act. Everything needs to include America. It sounds fantastic. Fabulous. I can get behind all of that. And hopefully they're not going to fill it with a bunch of pork. You know how they would always fill these bills with a bunch of pork spending? Yeah, that's just been tradition in Washington. Democrat Minneapolis City Councilwoman Robin Wansley says arresting criminal illegal aliens is domestic terrorism and incites a far-left mob to further impede on ICE operations. Yep, It's domestic terrorism to go get illegals out. Wow. I want to see some more polls. I want to see polls. Last one I saw, I think it was like 65% of the country wants them out, is backing Trump big time. I hope all of this just backfires on them, because here comes the midterms, and I hope the leftards are shaking in their boots because of all the election fraud that is being unpacked. Wansley, we're protecting them. And somebody put criminals in parentheses from an agency that is illegitimate. And this woman has been elected in office. You know what? I think there was some cheating going on. How did this woman get elected to be a representative of anything?
And we're protecting them against a federal agency that is illegitimate and trying to harm us. This should not be. This should not be. And we have witnessed in the midst of our love for one another, our dynamic public love as Minnesotans, we have witnessed the federal government use yet another tool to try to get us in fear. They are trying to tell us that it is now a crime to film your neighbor being abducted. That it is a crime to blow a whistle to ensure that folks around us know when domestic terrorism is happening in our own streets. And we're protecting.
I can get behind arresting them for blowing those annoying whistles. Arrest them all. Make it an ordinance. You're not allowed to blow a whistle anywhere in the city, in the entire city. I can get behind that. Now, I didn't research everything she was saying. You know that they exaggerate and lie about stuff, so I don't think that they have stopped people from filming. They just want people to stop people from interfering with their operations. And plus, they have people going out and finding them. They've got a whole network, guys, of logistics. They got a whole network communicating. Yeah, we seen this black SUV heading down this way. Here's the license plate number and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, Dad Blaine, guys, they are well organized. I remember when Trump called her Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas because she's claimed she was Native American Indian. You can't make this stuff. Pocahontas needs to take another seat. Alex Pretty, wrong again. And here she is. Watch this, guys.
Senators voting in the affirmative: Baldwin, Blunt Rochester, Durbin.
Oh.
Heinrich,
Oopsies.
Hirono, King.
I'm good. I got this. Well, the DOJ did file criminal charges against Anthony James Kaczynski. What is he? What is that? Kaczynski? Is he Ukrainian? Is he Russian? The man accused of spraying Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota, with apple cider and vinegar at a Minneapolis town hall. Can the DOJ now please indict Omar for her many federal crimes and finally have her deported? Everybody's thinking it was staged, guys. That guy spraying that stuff on her. Come on, work with me. Let's see if they're gonna show it. They're gonna show it. Oh, here we go. Watch this. Now, guys, the reason why also, and a lot of other people think it was staged, because she kind of looks, she's reading and she looks up and then she does this, right? Now, somebody might say, well, maybe she was just nodding her head, just moved because she's reading from the podium and blah, 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 blah. But if you were sprayed with something, I mean, you'd be like, oh my God, you know, you'd want to go and get it analyzed and all of this stuff. She just goes back to talking like it's nothing. But she did make a statement about that. I may have it in the stack of stuff because she is retarded, what she said. She said something to the effect that she wasn't, she was raised by her brothers and stuff, and she was taught, because I guess she went after the guy like that for a moment, and then she turned back around or whatever, and then she was saying, because people were saying, well, why didn't you go and get that substance checked? I mean, the room should have been quarantined. Good night. You don't know what's in that, right? Well, no, she's braver than that and all of that stuff. We have another Democrat. We have another Democrat with some fraud allegations. Former Colorado State Senator Sonia Jacqueline Lewis, Democrat, convicted of a felony fraud, caught forging documents to dodge an ethics probe into abusive treatment of staff. What is happening?
Former Colorado Senator just convicted of 4 felonies for faking documents during a legislative investigation. A jury found Sonia Jacquez Lewis guilty of 1 count of attempt to influence a public servant, which carries a sentence of 2 to 6 years, and 3 counts of forgery, with each carrying the potential of 1 to 3 years in prison. She will be sentenced February 27th. Former Colorado.
If she just gets a smack on the wrist, depending on where she goes, and y'all know this is what happens. She'll be propped up on a pedestal. She'll be the darling of the left. I don't know. This might be the biggest story, guys. I mean, we're having a lot happen. I mean, Don Lemon getting arrested. Big news, big news. We've been wanting to see that. And we haven't had any video of him being perk walked. And I wanted to see that. But check this out. Check this out. New Epstein file dump reveals Bill Gates was begging Jeffrey Epstein for antibiotics to discreetly slip to his then wife Melinda after Bill contracted an STD from you-know-what with Russian girls. Gates also reportedly sent a description of his you-know-what to Epstein. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Happy mouse. Happy mouse. Oh man. Sent his you-know-what to Epstein, and the emails reveal Bill Gates and Bill Clinton are some really disgusting pigs. Oh man, let's see if I can read this. Let me fix this. All right. Maybe I need glasses to add. Let's see. To add insult to injury, you then employ me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. You requested that I provide you antibiotics that you can subsequently give to Melinda and the description of your you-know-what, your privates. You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to, and who is this that is redacted, as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. Well, I think I have a document. I don't know if I have it on this thing, but apparently his wife divorces him just right after this email. All of this stuff came out. So he was doing the nasty with something. I don't know, man. This is Epstein emails, guys. He kept the emails. Bill Gates was like, oh, crap, I need you to delete those emails. What I don't understand is why Bill Gates would need to ask Epstein for antibiotics. What is happening? What is happening? And there's his wife that he is now divorced from. Who knows? Epstein file reveals Bill Gates was begging Jeffries for antibiotics. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why would he be begging somebody else for that? I don't know. Maybe because he didn't want to. I mean, because if you go to a doctor and stuff, I mean, y'all, just thinking out of the box here. Like, this is kind of creepy. But, hey, this was in the dump. The DOJ, the Trump administration, just dumped a whole bunch of new videos, a whole bunch of new emails, and this was in the email, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can tell you. And, wow, it's disgusting. We got these people, far-left activists led by Socialist Alternative, have defied Minneapolis police orders and marched into Dinkytown Target store. These professional activists are being trespassed now, and here they are. I'm going to turn this down because it's just annoying. They're trying to protest in a Target. These people need to be arrested. They really do. Just arrest them immediately for disturbing the peace. You shouldn't be able to protest in a store with ready-made. Look at their signs. Look, those are professional signs. Look at that. And they got the Target on them too. Oh man, look at those signs. Unbelievable. I mean, this is just another post of, they were on CNN and Brian Seltzer, wasn't he fired? And then they rehired him or something? Yeah, they always prop up the most unfortunate. Brian Seltzer looked like he was about to cry as CNN was forced to read out loud. Live, on air, that their former employee, Don Lemon, had been arrested. I don't know, you fired him. And their views are not going to like what they heard. Lemon was arrested in a lobby of a Los Angeles hotel last night by federal agents weeks after storming a Minnesota church service as part of an illegal anti-ICE stunt. CNN, we do know that Don Lemon was arrested last night in Los Angeles in the 11 o'clock hour local time. I'm told by sources that he was in a hotel lobby on his way to an event related to covering the Grammy Awards, and that is when he was arrested by the agents and taken into custody. It is expected when he will appear in court in Los Angeles this morning, and that the charges against him will be unsealed. Yeah, we haven't seen the documents yet, and I've been checking, guys. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But CNN, boo-hoo. I mean, they're just like, they can't believe it. They all got these talking points that this is Trump retribution and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, cry some more. This person tweets, Don Lemon fully admitted that he planned to storm and disrupt a church service with the anti-ICE lunatics. The only person in this case who attacked the First Amendment was him. I agree wholeheartedly. And he's still trying to stand behind journalism. Let's see. This is the James Woods. Y'all remember James Woods from, he was in Mississippi Burning. He played the Klan guy, and he was also in Goodfellas. For the last three people in America who don't know this law, and assorted Democrats who typically choose to ignore it, why Lemon was arrested. Rioting or intentionally disrupting a church service is illegal under federal and state laws, which protect the right to worship without interference. The Federal FACE Act prohibits using force, threats, or physical obstruction to interfere with anyone exercising their religious freedom at a place of worship. Well, isn't that special? Don Lemon didn't know that. And a friendly reminder to you guys is that Biden's DOJ arrested all the people in this video I'm fixing to show you under the FACE Act for singing hymns outside an abortion clinic. According to the left, this was a legitimate use of the FACE Act, but did not disrupt a church service. And here's these people sitting there calmly and praying. But they're all up in arms that that Don sucks lemons and all of those lunatics making those kids cry. Some woman broke her arm trying to leave the back. They were saying they were obstructing these people from going to get their children. They were calling them Nazis and screaming and yelling and hollering. It's all on film. But look at these people. These people are commonly praying for babies not to be murdered, and they were punished. They were punished by Biden's regime, DOJ. Don't forget it. SCOTUS is singles. Trump may have a win to let him fire a Democrat member of the Federal Trade Commission without cause, which in the article, look at this. Article 2 is clear. President heads executive branch, no doubt. He's controls it. He should be able to control, hire and fire. If there's somebody in his cabinet that's like not going with the flow with what they want, they need to go. Any president in any political affiliation would do the same thing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Person says, do you stand with President Trump? Well, yeah. Sometimes I think it's goofy for people to write, tell me yes or no, whatever, but I don't know. But again, I think it's a no-brainer for SCOTUS to vote in Trump's favor on firing that guy. All right, I really liked this video. It's 17 seconds, but you can call it the Newsom effect, right? It's Gavin Newsom's population hemorrhaging. California is projecting to lose. And watch this video. These are people leaving California. And it's going to show you the different areas of where they're usually going. A lot of it's Texas. Looks like what is that? Arizona. Look at that. New Mexico. All across the country. This is crazy. This is insane. Looks like some of them went to Virginia. But look where the bigger parts are. That's crazy. All right, check this out. This is a list of countries that require ID to vote. Look at this. I don't know if you guys could see it. But look. And here you go. You got the United States at the bottom with an X. We're the only country on this page that you don't have to have an ID to vote. Yep, there you go. There you go. It's crazy. I'll leave it there for a second. You can pause it and you can look. I mean, even Kenya, Uganda, good night, Thailand, Nigeria. Look, they even have Palestine on here. Ecuador, Bangladesh. Nope, not America. Australia, Finland, Switzerland, Ireland. Look at Taiwan, India, Cyprus, South America. Good Lord. We must be the laughing stock of the world. All right, this clip is from an ICE protest at Fort Mott High School in Fort Mott, Nebraska. A student was seriously injured. Okay, so I want you to watch the video closely and pay attention. And here we go. All right, let's see that again. Now, look at this girl right here and what she does. And why did the school allow the kids to go outside and get in the streets? Now, I know when I go pick up my boy from school, there are car lines and they're watching traffic and you have to wait for the slow and go and the stop signs and all that stuff because they don't want a kid to get hit, right? Well, these retards let these kids go out of the school. And they also had ready-made signs, right? So somebody supplied ready-made signs for them. Now watch her. Watch her. She's running. Boom, she runs right to the car. I hope she's not seriously hurt, but good Lord. She runs right in front. Look, she's running, just get in front of the car. What a retard. I think the school's retarded. I think the parent, did the parent know that their young teenage daughter was out here protesting? Did she approve of it? I think she should sue the school for letting them do this on school hours. And maybe the federal government should pull the money for, I think they get so much money for the kids being in school. They should pull their funding, pull federal funding from that school. I really don't want to turn this up, but looky here.
What do we want?
This is another clip.
You're never going to be on the show again.
Elderly gentleman.
Taking a restraining order against you. You are not allowed
Where
within
is that
500
coming
feet
from?
of the.
It was from one of my other bookmarks I had at the top. One of the videos started. But this is another shot of them in at a Target. Look at all these signs. They've all made it inside. I think they should all be. There should be a paddy wagon outside and get them all. Arrest them all. Arrest them all for doing this. This is completely absurd. Here's a shot of them outside. I mean, they're just all lined up. I don't like Target anyway. I know a lot of people do. And hey, don't hate on me. I mean, go shop wherever you want. I don't care for Target. I think they're too pricey and expensive. I'd take my boy to go look for pants or shoes or stuff. And it's like they didn't have diddly squat. It looked like it was all for fat women. I'm just being real. I mean, we walk in and it's like the whole section all the way around. It was like, I looked at him. I'm like, this is just a store for women. What are we doing here? We go back to the shoe department. It's a disaster. It looked like I was in a thrift store. The way it was just unkept. It was messy. It was disgusting. I was like, we need to leave. We need to go. We need to go somewhere else. I didn't like Target, by the way, but hey, there's something for somebody in there. I'm sure there was just nothing in there for our household. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that. But Target should be upset and they should be arresting these people right now. And back to the Epstein files. It contains 3 million. It's going to take people a while to go through this stuff, guys. 3 million additional pages responsive to the Epstein Files Transparency Act. More than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are included. This is crazy. This is crazy. Everybody's going to be having a field day. And I bet there's going to be a bunch of people working overtime all weekend to decipher this for all of us. Ilhan Omar. I mean, been in the country. She's not even an American citizen. And didn't she say goddamn America in one of her press conferences? Yeah, she needs to be deported. This is what she posted on X. The arrest of Don Lemon and Georgia Fort and Jamal Lundy are unacceptable and a clear violation of the Constitution. What? No, it's not. They violated that church. Anybody out there who'd been in church, would you not freak out if a bunch of lunatics came in? Absolutely you would. And scare the children. This is a dangerous and abuse of power that threatens the rights of every single American. They must be released immediately. And that's Ilhan Omar. Do we really want to listen to her lecture to us what our Constitution says? Our Constitution is screaming, you need to get out. You're not even legal. Apparently you married your brother. Apparently. All right, this was a journalist that was arrested with Don Lemon. Federal agents showed up to another leftist house who stormed the church with Don Lemon, fake journalist Georgia Fort. She could not believe she wasn't above the law. This is really scary. Okay, listen to what she says.
Yes. Okay. Okay, well, this is really scary. There's kids in the house. You guys have not been really friendly in the community.
It's really scary, and there's kids in the house. So, this is really scary for her. There's kids in her home. But she didn't give a damn about those children that were in that church that were terrified and literally crying, and they could visually see them crying. But yet she stayed with Don Lemon. She should have said, hey, man, this is wrong. I'm getting out of here. I mean, I would think that. I was like, no way, man. Y'all are crazy. I don't want no part of this. Right? No, she went right along with them. And they're going to tell me this is in a guise of journalism. Those kids were clearly traumatized.
And to me, this seems a little, can I finish, sir? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Get your phone.
This seems a little bit aggressive to have all these cars in our cul-de-sac, 2 or 3 agents, and now
That was aggressive. 2 or 3 cars in the cul-de-sac to come get her. But how many people was it like 20, 30 people that stormed that church, shouting they're all Nazis, screaming, yelling, kids were crying. Really? The hypocrisy.
I saw the one disappear to the back. So to me, this is a little aggressive to just serve a warrant. Slide the warrant. Let me see the warrant.
She should know that she's going to get arrested.
Okay. And that, to me, what I have been told, is not a judicial warrant that has me to have to open the door for you.
Wow. Wow. Here's another video she posted. We're going to speed this up just a little bit, guys, so we can get through this. So this is going to be a little fast, okay? Not too bad. Not too bad.
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this.
Really?
This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to...
She was filming, seeing kids visibly upset, crying, hugging their parents, upset. Some boy said he thought his daddy was going to die. But, her children are upset that a couple of officers that are really calm, I don't hear any ruckus going on. They're just coming to arrest her. The hypocrisy.
Film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I wanted you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press. We've seen all these violations. All right, you guys, I got to go. They're knocking.
Yep, she's coming right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, guys.
You want to?
I've talked to.
Guys, anybody out there with any common sense? You're hired to go and film something, okay. But then you get there and you're like, whoa. Nah, man. This don't feel right. Something's up. She could clearly see those kids were traumatized. Plus, Don Lemon's talking to the camera, basically talking to her. Oh, look at the Look at the child over there. Seems clearly traumatized, but that's what protest is all about. Then they go inside. They go inside, and what happens? You're hearing kids crying. They're scared to death. These people are screaming obscenities and hollering and carrying on, and then hollering people's names like they don't know what's going on. But no, a couple of officers come to her house. Well, my children are traumatized. I thought I had a constitutional right. I thought I did. The hypocrisy. Got some good news, guys. Donald Trump signed an executive order to bring back mental institutions and insane asylums. And then somebody wrote, now Candace Owens fans will finally have a place that they can all call home. It's awesome. Yeah, we need some loony bins. All right, so before I was going to close out, I went to look to see if there was any more stuff coming out, and there was. The unsealed indictment has been released. Don Lemon indictment has been unsealed by the court, officially showing he has been charged with 2 federal felonies for participating in the attack on the city's church in St. Paul. Let's see, count 1 is conspiracy against the right of religious freedom at a place of worship. Count 2, FACE Act, injure, intimidate, and interfere with exercise of right of religion and freedom at a place of worship. Full document in, he's saying full document in replies. I thought he would be charged with the KKA Act. I don't know. I don't know what this one is. Conspiracy against the right of religion. Is that what that one is? I'm not sure. But we know he's got a couple of counts on him, and that's a good thing. Okay, so I just showed you the video of Georgia Fort. Now, this is her 17-year-old daughter and husband speak out today at a press conference, calling for her immediate release after she was detained by federal agents this morning. My mom is being arrested for documenting what happened at a city church, and this is wrong. She says this goes against her First Amendment right as a journalist, and it's being challenged today. She is not a protester. She's not an activist. She's a mom working to provide for her children through the only way she knows how, documenting and sharing stories of the community. And the truth is what's happening here and every day. You know what? If she's working with Don Sucks Lemons, she's probably a left libtard. I'm just going out on a limb, and I don't think it's too far. Fort is an independent journalist who has spent years reporting on issues impacting Minnesota communities. Her family says she was just doing a job and nothing more. They are demanding accountability and her immediate release. The problem is that she should have known better. When does it cross the line of being a journalist, or when this is wrong? She should have called the police. She should have known. I guess you know what? Maybe we all need to be better educated, but I would say, guys, that I would think it'd be wrong if I was filming and walked into the church, and I'll say it again, with my journalistic buddy, say he's my buddy and he's going to be doing interviews, and all this chaos is going on. I was like, man, we need to call the police now. Now, we could keep filming, but we need to call the police. This needs to stop. This is terrorizing these people. Nope. They just kept filming and hung around. And they hung around. That is my opinion on that. Nikema Livy Armstrong, one of the utmost outstanding citizens of the United States, who helped storm the church and stand there and start shouting, good, you know, like the death of good, and they're upset with ICE. She says, we had handcuffs on. As African American studies expert, it was the closest I was to slavery. Being arrested isn't racial anomalous, it's consequences. The state prosecutor's actions, not skin tone. I mean, is she for real? Is she for real? I want you to listen to this.
We had belly chains around our waist, and we had handcuffs with bars in the middle. As someone who majored in African American studies, I can tell you that that is the closest I ever felt to slavery in my life. Being shackled if I was a slave. It is unacceptable and unconscionable, but it's on brand for a white.
Good Lord, she says she's an expert in African American studies. I don't really think she is, guys. I think she's a DEI hire. She don't know crap about it. She don't, because if she really truly did, she wouldn't be acting like she's acting. I'm just saying. But she was one of the ones that were arrested, and I hope they still come after her, by the way. Storming a church. How did those people feel? Oppressed. Eugene Robertson posted this. All right, and then he's going to give his views on the whole George Ford, Don Lemon debacle, them being arrested. But we're gonna wrap it up with this, and I thought this guy did a really good job. So he says this is not an opinion, this is an indictment level reality. Georgia Ford, Don Lemon, and every collaborator who planned, promoted, filmed, or justified it. You did not protest. You did not report. You stormed a house of God. You invaded a sanctuary during worship, which was despicable, by the way. You screamed at believers. You blocked exits. You separated parents from crying children. Now, we heard reports. I did a show the other day that was showing that some of the indictments that came out showing what they did. One woman broke her arm getting out, slipped and fell. She was probably panicking. You turned prayer into panic. Children thought it was a mass shooting. Adults were injured fleeing. Families were terrorized in a place consecrated to God. This is not journalism. This is not activism. This is criminal intimidation and a clear violation of federal law under the FACE Act. No amount of crime videos, no First Amendment cosplay. No, I was just filming. Lie where you erase coordinated planning, social media calls to disrupt chants, or we shout this down, or footage celebrating the chaos. Cameras don't just record, they testify. Now, the consequences are real. Investigations, charges, courtrooms, permanent records. And here is the final warning. Repentance is your only escape hatch. Not PR, not spin, not playing the victim. The church doors you stormed are still open if you come broken and humble. Keep justifying scandal and judgment follows. Earthly first, internal after. Turn now, grace is real, but grace does not wait forever. I do really like this paragraph. The church doors you stormed are still open. If you come broken and humble, keep justifying it. Keep justifying the sacrilege, and the judgment follows. Earthly first, eternal after. That was just right on. Turn now, grace is real, but grace does not wait forever. And he's got a little video here. I am going to speed it up a bit, and here we go.
Georgia Ford.
I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. My children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media.
Save the sobbing monologue and the Oscar bait close-ups. You know, the trembling voice and the quivering lip. The carefully framed federal agents are at my door. You made that shot like it's the final act of a made-for-cable melodrama. You know, the cueing of the soft lights, clutching your pearls, invoking the First Amendment like it's a magic spell that erases behavior. That was mad corny, lady. That's corny.
Yeah.
Watching you cosplay as a shocked innocent in that video is almost impressive. The freedom fighter shirt, the wide-eyed disbelief. You actually disbelieve that consequences exist for that kind of behavior. The breathless insistence that you were just filming, yes, just filming, while barging into a church during Sunday worship, unleashing malevolence, chaos, and screaming Nazi scum at families, blocking exits, separating parents from crying children, and turning a sanctuary into a panic chamber. Totally normal for journalism. That's Pulitzer Prize kind of stuff right
Yeah,
there.
Pulitzer Prize.
Children thought it was a mass shooting. One woman actually broke her arm trying to escape because your crew wouldn't let people leave. A child told his father that he thought they were all going to die. But sure, tell us more about how traumatizing this has been for you. The audacity would have been funny if it weren't just so grotesque. So Georgia, let's drop the act. This wasn't some accidental iPhone moment. Flyers called for a pull-up. Posts and emails plotted the disruption. The goal was to shut the service down. You laughed, thinking you were laughing in the face of Jesus Christ. And you did just that on camera with glee. Chanting it, celebrating it, like a smash and grab, except the target was the house of God and the collateral damage was the terrified Christian families.
This goes on for another 5 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to get flagged for the music he has playing in the back, but I just thought he was so passionate. And his take on it was just excellent. Just absolutely excellent. And he's absolutely right. I mean, I was just saying earlier, I felt like that too. Like, if you were the camera guy and you'd be like, man, this is wrong. What are you doing? They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew what they were, and she's in the car with them. I'm sure she was riding with Don Lemon. They were all together. Right. And then they're going to go and film this. She knows where they're going. I'm sure he kept her up to speed. Or did he just keep all this to himself? Remember in the car when he was like, don't say where we're going. You know, it's a secret. Like, he knew where they were going and what they were doing. He knew what kind of group they were. To me, it's a no-brainer, guys. And she can't be playing the victim. And also, Armstrong playing the victim, I felt like it was the closest thing I came to slavery. I'm sure this guy's going to have a video about that. Like, this woman supposed to be an expert on black history or whatever. She's talking about slavery. Good Lord. It's just ridiculous. She's just some DEI hack. But anyway, there was so much more to go over, guys. I had fun going through this. And everybody have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Cold weather's still here. And I think we're supposed to get some snow coming in tonight or tomorrow here in Tennessee. Different parts are probably going to get hit worse. And wherever you are, stay safe and God bless. And always remember, don't be retarded.